if we hand them the ability to increase the video consumption in 37%, which this is the average of what we do today, it's a seamless integration on one hand and pure incremental engagement and revenue on the other hand. No reason why not to use it.
Welcome to the video platform category. I'm super excited to be interviewing here today with Amit from Minute. Amit, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Kyle.
We looked at well over 60 companies within the video platform category, and one of the companies that stood out to us was Minute. They part of what we think is one of the most impressive and innovative companies for specifically video tools. The work that they've been doing, the platform that they've built specifically to identify and filter out mass quantities of videos to find some of the most interesting content, I think is a really impressive technological feat, but has really interesting applications for the entire media industry, especially as we see this proliferation of video content everywhere. Before we jump into questions, we're going to jump into a quick video that you provided that gives us a baseline of understanding of what is Minute, and then we'll jump directly into questions. Sounds good?
Let's do it. Of course.
It's time to rethink how content is being consumed. It's time to replace static with dynamic. Minute drives video engagement and amplifies the impact of video. Our technology provokes curiosity with smart AI-powered tools. Bring video to life by replacing common static thumbnails with smart video previews. Automatically aggregate top videos to maximize your ROI on every video. Minute increases CTR, user engagement, and revenue. It's time to discover the full potential of your website. Trusted and adopted by top news, entertainment, and sport publishers. Minute. Make your content more profitable.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think it's a really nice video. If there's anything that you wanted to add on to that, feel free to. Otherwise, I wanted to just jump directly into it. I was just curious if there's a backstory behind why you founded Minute.
So originally we started as a B2C app. The grand vision was to build the next flipboard for videos. Like, we think that we know what people likes to see. Video was like an industry that was growing about 5 years ago and still, but we thought if we will be able to do it to your mobile app, that will be something good. Eventually, we shifted like a lot of companies. After about a year, we pivoted into a B2B solution. The idea was to help our clients to increase video consumption, which is at the end of the day how they make more money from their video content. So the solution today is we will help our clients to increase engagement around good video content, and then hopefully they will generate more revenue on top of this, and it works.
You've basically built the tool that can filter mass quantities of videos and identify exactly the right moments. And I'm curious, what type of video content, is it specific for certain types of video content, let's say sports, or can it be used for any type of video content?
We are focusing on today on 4 different verticals. First of all, I apologize for all the noise behind me. COVID-19, lockdown, and all the kids at home. So we're focusing on 4 different verticals: sports, news, entertainment, and the one that recently, thanks to COVID-19, was gaming. What we do for them is we will analyze all their video content. We will understand what is the most attractive moments on those videos. And then from that moment, once we've mapped and indexed your video archive, we will be able to generate actionable insights that we transfer them into very productive products.
Especially for video or any type of content, especially video content, it's really difficult. We're talking about various, even for those 4 verticals, there's lots of content that exists in those verticals and lots of different use cases or types of games that you can play, etc. I'm curious, how do you even define what are the peak moments that you should identify, and how are you able to identify that with your platform?
So for the past 3.5 years, we've been focusing on understanding video deeply. It means that we're analyzing frame by frame on each different vertical of content, and then we'll start to see what drives more engagement into content. So there's 2 different algorithms. One is around computer vision, audio and text analysis, and what works on that side. And on the other side is how users, without knowing who is the user, but how users are interacting with the content. What creates a higher focus or a higher engagement with the content. And based on those algorithms together in real time, we will develop patterns. Those patterns are the peak moment, the highlights of those videos. Then we can generate all kinds of, if we know what is the highlight and we know what is the content genre, then we can also create an interesting preview or understand what is the post view and more interesting products like this, which we probably discuss in a moment.
I just want to dive directly into a little bit of those that you said. You talked about there's two forms of tools or AI tools that are used to analyze the video and 2 different approaches. How do you build out this functionality into, where does the data come from to be able to pick up on those insights, whether it's that audio signal or whether it's the actual content within the video or the image itself?
So we connect with our client, let's say CNN, NFL, MLB. We offer them 1 line of code. This line of code will do a few things. A, will understand where there's a new video, when and where there is a new video that was published. We will analyze the video. We will analyze the way people engaged with content, and we build an aggregated data about this video. And then what is the video itself, where they place the content, what is the title, what is the audio that we hear, and obviously the video itself. That's how we pull the content, and that's how we analyze the content.
So you actually haven't, for example, pre-trained a lot of your solutions. You can go directly with working with new content and start from there. And I suppose there's some learning in the back end about these types of tools and what are signals to pick up on, but for the most part, you can jump into any new video content with any partner that you have and start to filter out what would be the best moments.
Yep, exactly. We will start and then we also improve it over time. So there's a learning curve that we've already passed, but machine deep learning will learn what works more and better, and then we'll improve the system. So the more videos, the more content, the more users who consume the content, the better product that we serve. And at the end of the day, we'll be amazing. Today, we're very good.
I like that. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you said that you provide your customers with a line of code and they send, and that's analyze the video. But I'm just curious, how do individuals interface with your videos? Do they send it to you? You host the videos yourselves? It's something that it's software that they have to download and then they have to segment that. I'm just curious, what is that method in which your customers work with you today?
What we're trying to do is to have zero effort from their side. We know that publishers are not, they're transitioning over the past 5-10 years into digital, but they're not technology-oriented companies. Only the top ones, the largest ones. If you're even mentioning the integration word, then they're like, oh, no integration on our side. So it's one line of code, really one line of code that we're handing them through email. They will take it, add it to their site, and that's it. We analyze the video, we detect where there's a video, we place it back on their site. We haven't spoke about the products yet, but we will implement the products back on their site. We do the analytics on top of it, and we send reports at the end of the month. So just as a feedback to our clients.
I think in having this ability to work with some impressive technology without having to really beat your head against the wall to try to figure out how to use it, or especially in the media category, and when you have a tremendous amount of content and video, moving video around, or trying to figure out how to download or upload or any of these things, it can be super painful. And the fact that you can make this whole process seamless for a lot of your customers is fantastic.
If they, at the end of the day, if we hand them the ability to increase the video consumption in 37%, which this is the average of what we do today, it's a seamless integration on one hand and pure incremental engagement and revenue on the other hand. No reason why not to use it. So I think it's the summary of everything and the idea of what we do.
Let's build off of that. What are the types of ways in which you're helping improve engagement? Because I know that you're taking video content, you're identifying the peak moments, and there's a handful of things that you could do with that. So can you expand on those different ways in which you can use video peak moments, and how what you have used to support some of your customers?
Sure. So we serve today with our clients with three main products. First, we analyze, we add the code, and then we do something that we named APV, stands for Auto Preview Video. We generate video previews like Netflix, when you hover the content and then you have a dynamic preview without showing the highlights. So we're trying to create a beautiful preview, or sometimes the post view, that users, the end users, will see it and say, oh, this is something that I want to watch. Click, and then they're being redirected to the content itself. If you want, I can share my screen and show you some stuff. This is, for example, NFL.com. On NFL, if you scroll down, you will start to see all kinds of moving previews. Those previews are minutes creations. We have previews to all the video content for this one and this one and this one, but at the same moment that I enter the site, this one was the top performing preview that increases the consumption to this video. You can scroll down, you can see another one here. You can scroll down, and there's another one here. But if I'll click on it, on one of them, it's just a redirect to the video itself. So you can see more and more, but if I go up and I click here, that is just a redirect to the video page. And that's a great example of what is a video preview. We
National
always
Football
test them.
League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl.
We always compare between the original preview, the static image, and two other previews that we're generating. So there's a continuous A/B test that learn and understand what creates a higher engagement. And then based on this, we'll know if this is an effective preview or not. 97% of our previews today has a positive impact. Let's see another option of how they can use our previews. So if you'll go to Google search and you type, for example, for NFL, those are video previews too that we generate for them. And if I'm searching for NFL and I clicked on this, it does a redirect back to their video page. So again, a good video presentation of content will drive more engagement. That's the first product that we do. If we wish to run, I can show another example. So this is NASCAR.com. You can see a component named must watch. Everybody can play with a name. We really don't mind. Those are the top videos, 5 top videos on their site concurrent, with the best preview that we have generated to each and every video that they published. Those components, their mission is to increase engagement, again, to video content, and to give the user the ability to have a 60 seconds of, this is what you should see. Those, by the way, components can be also sponsored, branded, programmatic, so we help them to increase revenue as well. If I click on one of those, it's a redirect to another video page on their site. So everybody's happy. I'm as the end user, get to see what's most important for me to see. The publisher increases the amount of video views and eventually revenue as well. I think what's interesting to see too is this. I can now search within my platform. This is all the videos that they have concurrent on their site. But if I'm looking for Tatis, for example, this is a player from the MLB, I can see all their library, video library of Fernando Tatis. And I can just pick whatever I want. This, by the way, can be done completely automated, or if they want to do it manually, they can do it like this. And then I can pick this one and another one. And if I hit preview, then we instantly generated a new video component with the best moments of Fernando Tatis. So just think of all the technologies that runs behind the scenes of the computer vision, face recognition, audio analysis, grabbing the right moments and the best moments of those videos. And this is him. They can place it on their owned and operated platforms, plus syndicate this component on all their affiliate network. So they're getting a higher engagement on their own and operated platforms and posting them across the world. Last product is this. So we automatically generate visual stories, vertical stories for mobile from their horizontal content. What we're trying to say at the end of the day, that you guys please continue to generate beautiful and interesting content. We will help you to adapt it to any kind of new platform medium that exists today. Full vertical, 50% to Instagram is like a square or whatever they do, and we generate everything again automatically. So this is an AMP story. It's a web story of any live event. It could be the elections in the US. It could be a major league story. And this is basically the summary of the game. For entertainment, we do it for trailers, for movies, for TV shows and episodes, for live news. They can all use it. And then they have a link where they can use it across the web. And that's the story.
For those that may not work with video as often, I could only imagine those that actually do have a huge sigh of relief, or at the same time just are in awe of what you can do. Can you give the audience a little bit more perspective of what were these media, what was like the NFL or what was the MLB doing prior to working with tools like Minute? I mean, taking content, filtering it, rewatching it, cutting it, trying to upload it in your own way every time is just brutally painful. But I'm just curious, what were these companies doing prior to working with you?
Two options. Option number one, just simply not doing it, because it's much of a hassle and too much work and that they don't know how to deal with. They need more manpower. Or some of them actually did it manually and in a very small volumes. So to generate an AMP story or to generate previews is very manual work. To create something, to chop it, to upload it as a GIF or an MP4, and then go to the dev team to place it instead of an image, and then A/B test everything. So you actually know the data that runs behind it, that you're actually affecting positively on your KPIs and not ruining everything. So those are the answers. A, not doing it. B, very low volumes.
You know, in the media space, and for a lot of companies that create content, and just for the audience perspective, why is this short form peak moments, why is this problem and in this issue really important?
So the main problem today that we're trying to solve, as we define it at the end of the day, it's video ROI. Video is just another product that they will serve their users, but they're investing a lot of money in order to generate quality content. And the outcome or the income for them is negative. For example, a good video that you will see at CNN or NFL or NBA, or when a good is not a slideshow or something that will frustrate the user, but a good content costs around $5,000 to $10,000 to produce. The maximum amount that they will be able to generate from this is between $1,000, $2,000, plus all the syndication and selling the content to other partners and stuff like this. So you're always keeping a gap between the income and the expense on that product. Now, it's not one per day. When you're looking at the top tier, mid tier clients, they will generate between 20 to 1,000 videos a month. Or obviously, there's much more than that for the large ones. So you're basically generating larger debt on those products. So if we can help, and there's, just to give you a sense on the market, there's around 500,000 hours of content, 500,000 hours of content that are being uploaded to the web on a daily basis. 20 billion views a day. What are the chances that everybody will see your content, that you'll actually have more impressions, more engagement? So anything that can help them to increase engagement, hence revenue, those are the areas that we can help with.
And you'll notice one of the things that we realize, especially when talking with a lot of creators, is that first initial impression to your content is the most important factor in driving that engagement. And the fact that you can take what could be a long form baseball game video that could be 15 minutes long, that only has a couple spots in which there's some really impactful and exciting moments. If you don't show that ahead of time, it's going to be hard to really get users to stay interested in waiting for those moments if you're not showing that ahead of time.
I can even ask you at the end of this conversation. I probably talk a lot of shit, and you'll have to slice everything and cut it back. So on the 1 hour talk between us or a 2 hour talk, you'll just get a 5 minutes. How do you do it now? Do you need something like us?
There's two aspects of this. One, going through content is so time consuming to figure out, okay, where exactly do you want to use the most peak moment of your video? And two, editing, cutting, moving files around multiple times, uploading it, being able to present it in a way that actually fits, whether it's a website or not. That process takes more time than it actually is to do the interview itself, to prepare for the interview, to actually create questions, to do even prep for the content that you're looking to create. It seems like it's so much time wasted when you would rather be creating more content. And so now it's absolutely impressive. You mentioned this in the very beginning about where you actually started. And it was direct to consumer product, and now you went to B2B. It seems, especially with your tool set and the platform that you've built, you can actually go in a lot of different directions. So I'm just curious if you have any vision of what is the future of Minute from a product perspective, and if you have any verticals that your new products that you intend to launch as well.
At the end of the day, what we feel when we're talking a lot with our clients, we have a very cool design partners that like working with us for the past 3 years or so, more than 3 years. And when we're trying to learn from them, what are their main pain points? So I'll differentiate their answers. If you're a small, medium publisher, not with a lot of videos, they're always trying to have more content. Okay. And if you're a large brand, tier one companies, they're always trying to break the ceiling of consumption. So if we can bring everyone together using AI to analyze the content on one side and then distribute it to the right parties on the other side, and helping them to transfer the revenue for all parties, that's something that we're looking for. Just think of the amount of videos that we analyze, collect, learn on one hand, and the amount of opportunities that people are actually looking for content, connecting between them.
I think there's a lot of opportunities in which you're right. There's content that exists that can be utilized in ways that would be a lot more simpler if it's easier to move video, to cut video, video is a fantastic medium to express a lot of things. To have a tool set that allows you to be very flexible with video and the ways in which you can present that content. No, I think it's going to be interesting when you connect these types of parties. I wanted to step back a little bit from the product and just ask more higher level questions. Your product is fairly unique in a sense that you don't see that too many companies, or I don't really see anybody in your vertical. So I'm just curious, what is the type of business model that Minute has? Like, how does customers engage and pay for your product?
So it's simple. We offer two products on a SaaS model. Based on the amount of video views and pages, we have our own calculations. And then we have a number that eventually we'll share with you. And on the two other products, we do some kind of a revenue share. We know that we are increasing dramatically the consumption, and we know the effect of what we do. And then we will be happy to be long-term partners. So it's a combination between revenue share and SaaS models, flat fee.
I'm just curious, video content, it seems like it's evolving in a lot of ways, somewhat similar, but you have big focuses on shorter content. You have social platforms constantly changing. You have dispersed content creators. You have a variety of different video formats. How do you think the video is evolving and for a lot of these platforms, and how does Minute fit into that picture?
If we're looking long term, I think there's more and more various mediums that people are generating all the time. It started with Facebook and Twitter, and then Snap and Instagram and TikTok and AMP formats, and they're all different, slightly different from one to each other, to another. What we're trying to tell our clients is, you guys, please continue to generate good content. Once you finalize the production side, we will help you to distribute it at scale. We know all those platforms. We know what we should see and how we should react. And then we will help you to distribute the content and create better engagement on your owned and operated platforms, native, mobile, desktop, OTT, whatever, plus outside of your platforms.
I only have a couple more questions. Thank you so much for taking so much time with me. I really appreciate it. I'm just curious, you mentioned a little bit earlier, but how has the pandemic affected your industry in any way, and maybe your company or video content as well?
Yeah, we have been affected. As I mentioned, we used to work for three verticals: news, entertainment, and sports. Had a decrease since March, but then they started to wake up around August. The rest, news obviously had a significant increase because everybody wanted to watch more content about COVID. Entertainment too. So it was a balanced situation. And then we started to do also gaming because we saw that there's a lot of companies who are shifting more. It was MLB gaming and eNASCAR and Fortnite and E-League and 2K and all kinds of sports gaming or casual gaming and stuff like this.
Last question. I'm just curious. What do you think is the future of video? What do you see that other people don't?
I think people, those are, as I mentioned before, those are generating quality content. The production cost will increase all the time because it's not that you're generating one format. Now you need to generate a lot of options. So besides the production side of the photographer, the editor, all those people who create the content, there's more on the tech side now that you need to adapt and adjust per platform. So overall, the price will grow. Those who are generating good content will be able to monetize it, but not in a positive ROI. So that's why we are coming in and we are the Robin Hood of video content.
I feel like we're going to live in video content. The demand for video content is unreal. And I think it's a great means of communicating a lot of really interesting stories, content, allowing people to be present in moments that they wouldn't be able to be physically. And yeah, I just see that there's just going to be so much more video content that there already is today. This was fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Before I close out, did you have any announcements or things you want to share or ask from the audience?
We're always looking for interesting people, interesting partners to work together. We are hungry to penetrate into new innovative markets. Few things that we're going to do in the future: education, kids, and e-commerce. There's another angles to video research that we're doing, and then news will arrive soon. So thank you very much, Kyle, to you for the call, and thank you for Tamar from our team and for organizing everything with you.
Amit, this was fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time. And again, for the audience, why we had this interview, we looked at well over 60 companies within the video platform category. And one of the most impressive video tools was Minute. And we got to see a little bit more in detail why. You are cracking the code, I think, of what is, one, a really difficult technological feat, looking and applying image recognition and a variety of different other ways in which you can analyze a video from a variety of different types of content and find those right moments that are going to drive the most engagement. That alone is really difficult. But then enabling a lot of your customers to, one, not actually have to do anything and collaborating with you, but being able to work with a tool that can take in any quantity of content and really distribute it in a way that's going to drive video ROI in a way that I don't think anyone's really seen before. And all these teams are probably going to just feel so relieved that they don't have to put so many man hours into editing and cutting and sharing and formatting videos. Is unreal. It's impressive. I'm super happy that we got to highlight you and feature you at this conference. What you guys are doing is fantastic. So thanks again, Amit, for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.